Elephant versus mammoth. Who would win the battle of these giants? The prehistoric woolly mammoth and today's elephants may have lived millions of years apart, but they are very similar animals. Both have a trunk that acts as a hand for picking up food and two massive tusks. The elephant enjoys a warmer environment than the mammoth, which lived in an icy landscape. Could they coexist today, or would there be a conflict between them? Let's find out. Because of their enormous size, elephants have captivated humanity for thousands of years. African elephants are the world's largest terrestrial creatures. Because of their big tusks and large ears, these elephants are easily recognizable. Woolly mammoths were among the last mammoths to inhabit the Earth during the Pleistocene epoch, colloquially known as the Ice Age. Woolly mammoths were closely related to Asian elephants today. They looked a lot like their modern cousins, except for one major difference. To keep warm in their home on the icy Arctic plains, they were covered in a thick coat of brown hair. Size and description. The African elephant is the world's largest land mammal, weighing up to 6,000 kilograms, 6.6 tons, and standing up to 3.3 meters, 10 feet at the shoulder. It is distinguished by its dexterous trunk, large curved tusks, and huge ears. The trunk of an African elephant is a combination of the upper lip and the nose. Elephants use their trunk to smell, breathe, detect vibrations, caress their young, drink water, and grip items. Their trunk has two opposable extensions, or fingers, at the tip that allow for exceptional dexterity. Tusks, which are modified incisor teeth, are found on both male and female elephants. They work in digging, foraging, and combat. The huge ears of an African elephant serve multiple purposes. The wide surface area of the ears helps to dissipate excess heat under the intense African sun. Visual communication is also frequently communicated through the ears. Flapping their ears might indicate either aggression or happiness. Woolly mammoths were the same size as African elephants today. Males stood between 2.7 and 3.3 meters, 9 and 11 feet tall at the shoulders, and can weigh up to 5,444 kilograms, 12,000 pounds. Woolly mammoths were likely coated with fur to keep warm in the cold regions they lived in. Woolly mammoths ranged in color from blonde to dark brown to black, according to genetic testing. However, they remain unsure whether this color provided an evolutionary advantage. Woolly mammoths had elephant-like long trunks and massive curving tusks. Researchers believe they used their tusks in the same way that modern elephants do. They could use their tusks to fight and their trunks to handle goods and aid in foraging. The biggest distinction between woolly mammoths and modern elephants is the shape of their ears. They had substantially smaller ears, most likely to reduce the risk of frostbite. They had 4 enormous molars to ground their food in addition to their tusks. Throughout their lives, their molars would be replaced 6 times. Range and habitat. African elephants can be found all over sub-Saharan Africa. Bush elephants can be found in central, eastern, and southern Africa. Forest elephants can be found in the Congo Basin and West Africa's deep forests. Larger African bush elephant species cannot expand into these locations because their size makes passage through deep vegetation difficult. African bush elephants are found in a variety of environments. They can be found in a variety of habitats, including floodplains, savannas, montane forests, and woodlands. African forest elephants live in semi-deciduous, wet rainforests. Though woolly mammoths are famed for dwelling in the Arctic's freezing plains, mammoths actually came from a considerably warmer environment. The relatives of both the mammoth and the Asian elephant originated in Africa 6.7 million to 7 million years ago, according to research from the University of Manitoba in Winnipeg, Canada. They appear to have spent roughly 4 million years there before moving up into southern Europe. Scientists are working on a possible approach for genetically altering elephants to resurrect ancient species. They then moved out much more, about 1 million years later, to what is today known as Siberia and the northern plains of Canada. A cataclysmic event occurred on Earth, the Ice Ages, according to Kevin Campbell of the University of Manitoba study team. The researchers attribute the woolly mammoth's survival in significantly colder climates to tiny genetic alterations that may have modified the way oxygen was supplied by its blood, keeping them warmer. Behavior. Savanna elephants have a complicated social structure. These creatures form family groups of about 10 females and their offspring. When male calves reach adulthood, they frequently abandon the family unit, creating bachelor herds or living alone. Males often associate with these family units only during mating. Meanwhile, a clan of family herds may form. Each tribe, which can number several hundred elephants, is led by a female matriarch. African bush elephants are wary and protective creatures. In this species, all mothering is common. Females can rear the calves of other females in their herd. While the adults are sleeping, they protect and care for the herd's calves. If a calf wanders too far, it is the responsibility of these all mothers to bring it back. These active animals are always moving. The elephants forage during the day, roaming their herd's home area. Savanna elephants communicate freely with their conspecifics, both verbally and non-verbally. It is believed that mammoths lived in family herds. They would migrate between food sources throughout the year. Their behavior was more or less similar to that of the modern-day elephants, and they used their trunk and tusks while foraging, fighting against enemies, or manipulating objects. As such large animals, woolly mammoths may not have had many predators. However, young mammoths and weak or sick animals would have been vulnerable to wolves, cave hyenas, and large predatory cats of the era. There is some evidence that humans may have hunted woolly mammoths, but it's not clear how prevalent that was. Now, who would win if an elephant confronted a woolly mammoth? Elephants and mammoths are both gentle herbivores with a long history of human interaction. Male elephants battle for dominance, breeding rights, and territory, yet they are typically peaceful creatures. It is possible that mammoths used their tusks in a similar way and behaved similarly. Mammoths had much longer tusks than elephants. Their tusks were more curved and twisted than elephant tusks and could grow up to 16 feet long. In comparison, the longest ever elephant tusks were 11 feet in length. If you've ever seen an elephant, you'll notice that they have very thin layers of short, coarse hair, making it appear as if they don't have any fur at all. This could not be said of a mammoth. They possessed thick fur to help them survive in cold conditions. Some of them even wore 2 coats to keep warm during the hard winters. These thick, heavy coats could have worked as a defense mechanism. Nobody knows who would win a fight, aside from the fact that elephants, unlike mammoths, are still alive. They lived in separate ecosystems and would be unlikely to encounter each other. African elephants and mammoth species match each other in weight, size, teeth structure, and probably intelligence. Mammoths and elephants had similar brain structure and complexity, in fact. Take a look at the tusks. Apart from smaller ears, that's the only thing that distinguishes mammoths from African elephants, and I believe it would make the most impact in head-on combat. The male elephants experience a phenomenon called must, in which they have supernormal levels of testosterone and become very aggressive and will attack almost anything with the least provocation, including members of their own family. At must, they are the most dangerous land animals in the world. But it is possible that male mammoths experience the same thing. In conclusion, I believe a mammoth would win a battle. The advantages the mammoth has over the elephant are having more prominent tusks, but as elephants are intelligent, and possibly so was the mammoth, they may choose not to fight each other. Unless both bulls were in must, then it would be a dangerous battle, possibly a fight to the death.